Yeah, it's a nice enough weekend to work on the Softail. So I'm going to be installing the starter jack shaft today. Gotta oil that, lube this up with some white grease, slide that in there, bolt that all down. Be taking off all the tape here that was protecting the splines. Put the drive gear back in. Got to torque the engine and the transmission back down. And if I get enough time, I will reinstall the oil tank. So that's what I'll be doing today. Okay, so yesterday got the drivetrain all put in. I thought I was filming it, but I wasn't. I must have pushed the wrong button and turned the camera off by accident. But you can see I got the starter jack shaft installed, clutch basket installed, compensator sprocket installed, chain tensioner installed. Everything's all torqued down, got the clutch adjusted, got the chain adjusted, and everything's all squared up. Started torquing down all the engine bolts and transmission bolts. I can't get to this last nut underneath here or the two transmission bolts on this side without taking and dropping the shock off underneath here. So that's what I'll be doing today, is getting under there and removing the rear shock so I can get to those last three bolts and torque them down, and that'll all be done. And this wasn't that hard to do. The hardest part of getting this all back together is this sucker is heavy. Trying to get this on and this on all at the same time and get the splines lined up just perfect to get this thing on. Was a little difficult, but took a couple tries, but I got it in there. So there we are today. I'm sorry about not getting it filmed doing it, but you can see the end result. So I'll be back later. I'm not going to bother filming jacking it up and taking the rear shock off and finishing torquing down those last three bolts I can't get to because the shock's in the way. That's just boring. I'll get back to filming when I go to put the oil pan back in. So see y'all later. Okay, got the shock out. Now, it's a 3/4 inch bolt. To get it out, I noticed that the rear bolt was loose and coming out, and really close inspection, I don't know, there's something wrong with that bolt. Looks like it's breaking there. I don't know if you can see that, but see right there. So it's kind of bent and breaking, so I'm going to have to replace that. And the rubbers back here are kind of shot too. So at some point, that bolt had come loose and started backing out and was breaking loose, and I never noticed it. Guess I need to check this thing over closer next time around. So, off to getting now to the bolts underneath to torque down the transmission. Okay, I got all them bolts back there for the plate and underneath the transmission. All torqued down. Now I got that shock out of the way. But I can't put the shock back on until I go buy me a new bolt because that one's breaking. And I'm not going to put it together with that. Okay, and I got that last bolt there on the engine torqued down. I had to do some little modification on my tools to get in there, but I did it. I don't know how the hell they put that thing together originally, but the next problem is I broke the wire off the starter. So I gotta fix the wire in, clean this up a little bit, and then put the oil tank back in. So see you in a little bit. Okay, oil tank is back in, and oil lines are back on. And everything's all tightened down. Now I just got to get 3 quarts of 2050 synthetic and put in there. And next is put the rubber isolator back in and hook the battery back up. So that'll be the next step. See ya next time. Okay, got the battery back in and hooked up, got the seat back on, bolted down, got the rear exhaust pipe back on. So it's all pretty much put back together, all except for this shock. Have to get a new bolt and new rubbers and then put that on underneath there. Need to get some primary fluid and 3 quarts of oil. I gotta pull the plugs and crank it over and reprime the oil pump. Make sure the starter jack shaft works right. I think I got it all done properly, but you know, I want to check it before I button this up, just to make sure. So there she goes. It's getting there. Probably one more weekend and it'll be back up and running. Next weekend I got family obligations, so I won't be able to work on it then. So it's going to be 2 weeks before I get another video and get her done. So see y'all then.